Good morning and welcome to the Battle for a Healthy Voice. Today we're going to do a brand new student video. He's not a brand new student. His name's Todd Bashor. He's been studying with me a little over a year, right, Todd?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just have a typical lesson. So I just came in for the lesson. Todd and I are going to start. Hi, Todd.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, are you going to please tell me about the three facets of good vocal production as best you can?
Yeah, the first one is mental awareness. We're going to sing beautifully and freely. We're going to take our breath through the mouth, down and out into the non-bony areas and filling up the intercostals of our lower.
I found out a new way to talk about that.
Okay.
I've been saying for years that we fill the intercostals, but in fact, we don't really fill the muscles. What we're doing is we're filling the cavity.
Oh.
But I've been teaching it for over 50 years that I said filling the intercostal muscle set, when in fact, we're expanding the intercostal muscle set. And what we're doing is filling the cavity so that the lungs can expand completely. Okay, so now we're done with that. We've taken so we had mental awareness.
Yeah.
Filling the intercostal muscle set. You already got that. What about posture? Explain posture to us.
Have our chest comfortably lifted and open.
Okay.
And we're going to have the energy of a medium fist or a ballet dancer in action.
Okay, good. There's three qualities to a good tone. What are they?
It rings in the ears, it pings in the head, and it buzzes in the mask.
Now we talk about that. When we first started with you a little over a year ago, about a year, could you hear that stuff? Did that make sense? Or was it just kind of something you strive to understand?
It didn't make complete sense at the beginning, but then when I was practicing, I would notice when I would hit the notes right, and I would feel it in those places. And
would you not only feel it,
yeah,
but you would hear it as well?
Yes, absolutely.
And you had a sensation, a physical sensation.
Yes.
Like of ringing.
Yes.
And then eventually you recognize that as a good sound. Did you do that? Would you say that could be done completely without a coach?
It would take a lot of self-awareness to put those together. I would say that calling it out, especially in those early lessons, very often helped cement that's what you're striving for, and that's what you'll be able to hit when you're hitting the notes.
Okay, so really, I've been talking about doing 30 lessons in 30 days, where people would just have a recording of a lesson and we would progress. Do you think that would be the only need that they have, or would they need some kind of physical interaction with the coach at some point?
Oh, that would definitely help to maybe give them some exercises to work on, but there's nothing like having someone there to hear it, to give those nuanced suggestions. Like there's many times when I'm struggling to get through a certain phrase, and you're there and you say, okay, well, you have to modify the consonant or the vowel, and that will get me past that roadblock.
So it's beneficial to have a trained coach physically present.
Oh yeah.
So should the time come that I do these 30 lessons, and I want you to know, those of you who are watching it, I said we were going to get that done by December 1st, but when I talked to my producer, he told me that is not possible, David. And I thought, well, why not? He said, because you have to do 30, 45-minute videos. So I got names for all of them and progressed it by names, but I can't get it ready. So the next best thing is, I thought, we need a male. We've had two women do voice lessons, Sylvia Ruff and Emily Callicott, about 6 or 7 months ago. Now Todd's going to be our first male doing a voice lesson. So let's go ahead and warm up. We're going to use the yawn-sigh system, which Luciano Pavarotti taught at the School of Juilliard many years ago. And I was not taught that. It was beneficial to me, and it helped me actually increase the range of my voice by understanding that. Just to say you're going to do a yawn-sigh, though, you have to understand how to do the yawn-sigh, because there's what's called natural vocal tension and compression. or excessive vocal tension. And Todd's learned about that. He's a professional speaker on the internet. It's his job. And he studied speech as a major. And we talked about this, and he said he didn't learn anything like this when he was in speech.
No.
So this is like watching the movie Jumanji, and you find that game. We found this old box. We took the dirt off it, cleaned it up. Inside was this recipe about how to sing beautifully and freely with vocal health. Yonsai.
All right.
We're going to do who.
Okay.
Start on whatever pitch comes out.
Okay.
Rib cage comfortably high and expanded, neither tense nor relaxed, but poised. Energy of a dancer in action, or medium fist, ring, ping, and buzz.
Okay.
And away we go. So your Yonsai right now very nicely. It's very freely produced. You can see by looking at his head that his head stays level, which is one of the things we teach, speech level. Also, you don't see any jutting of the neck or pushing of the jaw. The jaw must be free. There are 3 checks for freedom. Would you demonstrate those and explain them?
You can move your jaw side to side as you're making the sound. You can stick your tongue out and move it side to side like that while you're making the sound. And you can also move your head side to side.
But not multi-dimensionally.
Right, just side to side.
So one-dimensionally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can turn it, but you don't do tipping or moving forward and backward. He's got that down really well. And he did a B flat on the bottom of each of his oohs, which you put an H in the front of. So let's now do a different vowel.
Okay.
He keeps in mind, as I've taught him, we always have to have an emotion present when we're doing even our warm-ups. And the easiest one is happy, joyful. Okay, so let's now do your next one. We have 5 basic vowels. Who, he did that. He, now he's got his choice of hey, ha, and ho. Now notice I don't say hey, ha, and ho, because that's what we use in the English pronunciation of the vowel sound. We're using the Italian vowel. We did hoo, he. Now the next one, your choice.
I think I did that one already.
Yeah, you did. Me.
Sorry.
That's fine. Sure. You got hey, ho,
yeah.
or ha. Keep the head, don't cue an E in it. Okay. And if he's breathing right, you will not notice any, you'll notice that there's no shoulder raise or no heaving of the upper of the chest, especially even in the upper part. There might be a bit of raise just at the floating ribs if they're not completely expanded. You want to learn how to do that, so when you breathe, there should be literally no motion other than expansion of the intercostal muscle set like this. Would you demonstrate that? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, now let's go from, we did who, he, and hey, let's do ha. Typically, Yonsai takes about 2 to 5 minutes, and then we start into some other exercises.
Yeah.
When you're doing a warm-up, You really shouldn't do more than maybe 10 minutes if you're going to have an hour lesson. If you get any longer than that, you're really mechanizing the process. Doesn't take longer than that to warm up the voice. Okay, now instead of ha, did you, ho is your last one, right? Ho. Now at the bottom, you're cueing a bit of ooh.
Okay.
So let's get that ooh out of there. It's got to be ho. Just in the past month, Todd has been able to free up his voice enough so that now you'll hear he has a vibrato. A vibrato is a manifestation of a well-produced sound. It's a natural manifestation. It literally happens. There's a system out there that teaches that you push with your belly in a pulsing to make vibrato. That is not the correct way to do it. It just happened, didn't it? Right? You shaped it finally the right way. The body appreciated or accepted what you're doing, and it began to vibrato.
That's right.
Okay, so let's now do 5 tones down. Let's try. Which one do you want to do? Whichever vowel. La, 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 la. We're going up by minor seconds, which are half steps. 1 key to the closest key to the right. La, 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 la. 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 Ask yourself this question. What is this man's vocal quality in terms of his the naming of his type of voice? Is he a tenor? Is he a baritone? Is he a bass? And there are many, or there is more than one degree or one name for each of those. Basso profundo, bass, bass baritone, baritone, dramatic baritone, lyric baritone, tenor, second tenor, first tenor, countertenor, and what we would call lyric tenor and dramatic tenor. The same number of names is in the one I just aforementioned in baritone. Ask yourself, what is this man's quality? I'm not going to tell you. Neither is he. You figure it out. He's on a B flat right now. La, 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 la. I welcome your comments, and so does Todd. Once again, same pitch. La, 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 la. And your second time was better than your first. La, 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 la. Nice job. La, 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 la. He's got his vibrato present, and his voice is riding on the breath, or as we say, it's flowing on the breath. The tone must ride on the breath, which is natural tension. This is quite high for him. He might not make it. It could snap, just like it did to me when I was younger. If it does, so since I talked, let's start you down, come back in. This is like lifting 200 pounds of weight. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Congratulations, Todd Bashor. Apparently this voice lesson is helping him have more confidence, because that's the first time you went all the way up with absolutely no breaking or roughness in your voice. Nice E flat. Now, I would not be a good vocal coach if I asked him to go any higher at this point in his full voice, because he's not trained yet. He's not ready for that. But he's got an E flat. He sings a number of different songs. We're going to do some snippets now of those songs, pieces.
Okay.
So what would you like to start with, Todd?
Your choice.
Okay. Let's do I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Okay.
He does the Perry Como arrangement, which is in the key of B and then modulates. So what we're going to do is in snippets. I'll cut him off, we'll stop, and then we'll move to C and we'll finish.
Okay.
So.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
Okay, now we're going to move to the key of C, because that's what Como does in his arrangement.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
Let's try that once more, Todd. You and I both know he was under pitch and he didn't quite get the same placement he got when he was doing his warm-ups. So try once more.
Okay.
And we may get it, we may not. Remember, when you're studying voice, when you're doing these exercises, all he's doing is one vowel. And he did it with la. There's also E, A, on, O, and then there's also all the mutations, and then there's also the vowel combinations, like the, and others, okay?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
That's better.
Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear
Very nice.
sleigh bells in the snow.
Let's finish the song.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like with
That's okay.
every...
It's all right.
Sorry.
Let's stop and try it again. That happens in voice lessons. And you know what? It's the first time Todd has ever sung on a video recording. And just last week, he did his absolutely first public performance in the Dove Library Complex at the Shulman Auditorium. Shulman Theater Auditorium. Anyway, and he did very well. My wife, who is my voice teacher, her name is Kathy Mangione. For those of you who might know Chuck Mangione, she's his first cousin. But she's my voice coach. And I asked her, how did he do? She said he's improved much, because she's heard him over the past year on recordings that I do on my phone.
Yep.
This is a simple phone recording. So let's go with I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas with every Christmas card I write. Let's take the ending of it, okay? Nope, no lie. You're a little high yet. Still nervous. We'll get you back in control here.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
With every Christmas card.
With every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Okay, and now let's try we sang quite a bit of that one.
Yeah.
Let's snip out a little bit of whatever you want to pick for your next one.
Let's try If.
If?
Yeah.
Okay, that's by Bread, David Gates and Bread. Years ago, I was teaching a young student in Spokane. Very quick incidental story. And I said, do you have anybody that you enjoy in music? So, oh, yeah, I really like Bread. And I said, really? I said, I do too, David Gates and Bread. I said, do you have anybody maybe that's in your family that you're related to that's successful? I wasn't at that point a national performer or an international performer. I was just teaching lessons in Spokane, Washington. He said, yeah. As a matter of fact, my brother David Gates, he's out on tour right now. I went, your brother is David Gates? Oh, okay. And of course, I started kind of shaking because I'm teaching her daughter guitar. But you just never know. Like you watch one of my videos and listen to it. One of my old ones. You just never know who you're going to run into. You just never know.
Yeah.
So here we go with If.
If a picture paints 1,000...
I have to start you again because you were in a key that I wasn't in.
Sorry.
That's okay. How about here?
If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you? Words would never show the you I've come to know.
It's all right. He's just, what we're experiencing is he's doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
And admit, you're nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, so it throws you off.
Yeah.
But as a professional podcaster in your business, you're not like this at all. And this is an interesting, I have another short story that has to do with this. Todd's very successful. How many years you been doing this stuff on the internet with your business?
Oh, I've been in this space for over 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
20 years. And Todd is over 40. I had a man who was right in for the 49ers. Played right in. But he also played piano. And I began to teach him. Now he's 94. Hey, Jack Nix, thanks for all you did, especially as a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Hoorah. Anyway, he's taking lessons from me, and he decides to record an album. So I said, well, okay, you want to do that in the studio or on location? So he said on location. So we had the fella come up, and I met Battlefrost Charles Powell, who is now my producer many years later. One of my two producers, the other one's Sunny Galt. I think you can tell the difference because Sunny is a woman and she has red hair, and you've not met Charles by face yet. Anyway, the short story, which I'll do because I tend to bunny trail, is Jack says, I can handle a studio just fine. I've been in front of millions of people as a right end for the 49ers, and I was a ref, NFL official. So no problem, Dave. So I said, okay, Jack, but there is a thing called performance anxiety. He said, oh. So we got in there, set up the equipment. He's paying, $300 an hour or so, whatever it was. And we start. And he starts out and he goes, what in the world was that? Well, I said, Jack, that's what's called performance anxiety.
Yeah.
It took him a whole day of training with the sound man to just get used to it. Yeah. And then we recorded the album the next day. Cost him a pretty bit of money. But now you know. So you're a little nervous. Yeah. Let's see if we can't put you in your original key.
Let's try.
I'll even start with you a little bit. Remember, folks, my voice is broken because I chose to sing wrong even after singing for years and years right. If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you? Words would never show the you I've come to know. If a face could launch 1,000 ships, then where am I to go? There's no one home but you. You're all that's left me to Now this is usually where Todd has trouble getting into the high range. Let's see how he does today. Go ahead.
And when my love for life is running dry, you come and pour yourself on me.
Now you went out of key there,
Okay.
but that's okay. Now, that's something you work on. And Todd, how much musical training had you had before we...
Big zero.
Zero. So I came from a family of musicians. Grandpa, grandma, both sides, mom and dad, 9 brothers and sisters, lots of music. By the time I was 2.5, my mom had been singing semi-professionally, so I could hit pitches all over the place. Todd has a really good musical ear, but I can tell you right now, I have students have the same problem. Missouri, hey Ray, right? How you doing? Berkeley, you know darn well Berkeley, Graham. Delta Knapp is your stage name. Anyway, Delta Knapp, you have trouble with it too. Hannah Moran, oh my gosh, even Sylvia Ruff. And these are just a few of my more trained students. We all have trouble with pitch. Pitch is not easy. If it was so easy, we could go knocking on doors, 1,000 people, and ask them to sing and even if they knew it. Or if you said, do you know this song? They might know it. But you say, would you sing it? They no, I don't sing. Most people are very scared to sing because voice is the most personal instrument there is. And I teach 20 instruments. I know this to be a fact. Okay. So let's skip that one.
Okay.
Let's go to, how about let's see. There's a bright golden haze. How about it?
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky.
Go for it, Todd.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh.
That was just a sample of what it's like in a voice lesson. Todd and I will be back soon with how we wrap up the lesson. And thanks so much for your interest and your continued viewing of the battle for a healthy voice.